to Ohio State, and that was Coach Tressel who had converged me and Coach Day to sit down and talk and get on the same page. And there was a lot that I was sharing from being in that environment. And he just had a lot of the right pieces, a lot of older kids who had came back and they had something to prove and so on and so forth. And then you just had this, you had the right magic, and then he had the right intensity because there was a period where he had to prove himself and step away from what Urban Meyer had done. Just how Urban had to separate from Tressel. His big thing was, hey, you now have to push this thing into another level. And he did that. And so it started there. And then, I was there 1 day a week, year one. And then he hit me up in the off season. He said, hey, man, could you come around more? So I came around in the spring and then started to spend more time throughout the summer, just spending more time and connecting with the kids. And I also have zero interest in being a coach. Those guys, actually, they spend entirely too much time around football all year round doing that stuff. I can never see myself doing that unless you were fully dedicated to doing that. I wouldn't even try to go down that journey. The money's not worth it to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's an off-season at all with college
sports. There is an off-season, and I respectfully said it. I'm not saying it like in a disparaging way. I respectfully said it to the guys who chose that at their profession. But I'm not that passionate enough about coaching to where I want to give up my life. Right. I still like picking my kids up from daycare when I do it. I like kind of, hanging out with them as much. And so you just give up a lot. When you decide to coach, I know people see that they're accomplishing a lot, but you literally give up a lot of your life. And it is very intense with that environment. And all football isn't created the same. Ohio State football and the pressure behind it and the pressure to reform is a lot different than just your average program.